Okay. Look at this.
Anywhere over here.
So coming out of the man trip, which is these little train cars here, I am down in this mine with Zach, who is the expert, and my friends Noel and Journey with Jay. If you know Jay, he's been in some of my videos before. And Zach is going to give us a tour of this incredible anthracite coal mine here, the number 9. So take it away, Zach.
All right, now, we always like to start off with in here. First off, of course, we are at an anthracite coal mine right now. We have the largest deposit of anthracite coal in all the United States here in northeastern Pennsylvania.
So how did they dig this out? This was by hand?
It was always drilling, blasting, and loading, but originally, before the invention of dynamite in the 1870s, they had black powder.
Wow.
Now, we use many unique pieces of equipment underground to mine. One of our interesting setups is what we're looking at in here, the 4-wheeled cart sitting in the center of the floor. That is known as a go devil. Through a system of cables and pulleys, it was used to move the heavy loaded cars as they came off the shaft just up ahead of us. It took them up into that staging area where we just started so they could assemble the strings of cars to take outside.
This huge electrical box from the 1920s or the early 30s. You can't really make out what it says. Wouldn't want to hook that up today. Look at this.
As you're coming on up, this is what we consider a 2-compartment shaft, because as you see, there are 2 independently operable elevator cages. Each one has a fairly heavy steel roof. That roof is known as a bonnet. That is there as a protection for you as a miner riding between the different levels. It is not uncommon over the years. Pieces of wood, rock, may come loose fire from the shaft and fall down. That piece of steel is there to protect you. Our mine has 4 levels. We're, of course, on the first level here. Levels are offset nearly 200 feet from each other. Level 2, nearly 200 feet below us. 3, 200 below that. 4, 200 below that at the very bottom. The last time either of these 2 cages saw any use was in February of 1960. They've been parked right here ever since. It's southern yellow pine.
Unbelievable that it's preserved still.
It's 119.
Wow.
It is as solid as the day it was put in.
That's incredible.
Here's where you can look down. It's a little hazy, though, from the humidity, but you should be able to see, of course, leaning over to the back, the water 250 feet below.
Wow, that goes down there. Wow.
Oh, yeah. And there's over 300 feet of water there. Now, if you notice just above the water, you see it looks like a stick sticking out from the left-hand side?
Yeah.
That is the second level. We put that stick there as kind of a marker where the second level is.
Who drew the short straw to put the stick down there?
It was a landing very similar to this. We just pushed it right out.
Oh.
And when you're on the second level, the water is only 30 feet away from you. It doesn't look so bad when you're only 30 feet away from it.
Look at that.
We have 9 of these all-steel cars floating around inside and outside the mine today. The car empty, as you see it here, weighs nearly a ton. When it is filled, it will hold upwards of 8 tons worth of material. When the mine was in full operation, there were 1,200 of these 8-ton cars on this property alone. There were upwards of 5,000 of these scattered throughout the valley.
Wow.
This is production on a large scale.
So you said we are how far in now?
Just over 1,600 feet.
1,600 feet.
A quarter of a mile by a little bit.
Wow.
100 years ago, when mules were still used regularly in the mines, they would physically walk them up and down between the different levels of the mine. Now this muleway goes out for a distance of 150 feet at nearly a 40-degree angle. It's fairly steep, wide steps as you make your way down. The bottom is a small landing where it makes a U-turn back towards us for another 150 feet at a 40-degree angle until you meet up with the second level nearly 200 feet below us.
The, what is it, like some sort of crazy stalactite here?
It is. We call these rusticles. Now, there is a lot of iron in the surrounding rock. Groundwater is leaching it out as pure rust or iron oxide. That's actually what you're seeing there is an accumulation of it. There's also, you see this whitish deposit here. This is calcium, and you may see a yellowish deposit or two. That is sulfur.
All right.
Now, before we go through here, I do want just to, of course, mind the head, some low spots going along, including down the other end's a low collar. It's like the one here above my head, but a little more head level on the other end, so do mind yourselves there. But something to think about, though, of course, as we move along. Everything in here beneath this gravel that we're walking on, and of course, everything above this timber to our heads, this is solid coal. Most of the Holmes vein is intact through here. Right this way.
All right. Wow, this gets narrow, Zach.
Oh, yes. Well, that's the thickness of the veins. Your left and right is solid rock. Again, the coal is above and below you.
Solid rock.
Thanks.
Almost hit my head.
This is slate and shale. What we consider the top and bottom rock here is slate and shale. Gotta have some fun with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh yeah.
Now, where we're standing here, now this is perhaps the most important stop in the entire tour. Now, this chamber, this is in a completed state. Finished, it goes up for a distance of nearly 200 feet at about a 60-degree angle. It gets very steep as you approach the face. But you would have begun your shift here, base of the chamber with your labor. You're carrying the drill bits, a box of dynamite, any lumber or timber you need to protect yourself, and any hand tools that you're going to need to go through the shift. You and your labor are going to carry all of those supplies up there with you, all the way up to the face of coal. You're then free to start drilling in that face, drilling 10 to 12 holes in the face of coal, all 8 feet deep. Once you have your holes in place, you're loading them with dynamite, putting 4 to 5 sticks in each hole. Once you are sure that the area is clear, then you're free to set your charge off. And once you fire, there's a pretty sizable cloud of dust up there. You have to wait for it to settle out. Once it has, you can begin slowly making your way back in the chamber. Now, once you're up there, you're going to be faced with upwards of 10 tons of loose material. It's going to be mostly coal. It's going to heal the rock too. This does happen. You and your labor are going to send all of it down this wooden chute. It runs the right-hand side of the chamber all the way up to the face. Gravity is doing a lot of work for you here, getting the coal and rock down here, the base of the chamber just up behind me.
And you said this became a tour in around 2002, right?
2002.
Okay.
They began restoring the mine for tours in 1995. Yeah, the first full tour in here was 2002.
And the state has to come in and inspect it and everything?
Once a month, the state has to come in and do a general inspection. We follow all regulations that an active operation follows.
Wow.
Because really, other than producing coal for retail sale, we do everything in here an active mine does.
Yeah. So for people like you who might come here, that's good news because you're not going to get trapped in here.
We're going to talk about the mines this year in the 1800s. We're going to start there. Now, if any of you are a miner here, we're going to say back in 1870. So you're up in the chamber we were just looking at. You're going through the motions of your day, putting coal out, putting timber. You're 2 or 3 hours into a shift, and you get hurt. All right? Maybe you've fallen, you've cut your hand pretty severely, you've broken your leg, you're banged up pretty good. Inside of this room, originally, you would have been greeted by steam heat, running water, electric lighting. This was a clean, dry, white painted room. Inside of here were 2 cots that they could lay out in if you were severely injured. This room was well stocked with medical supplies, and there was an attendant in this room during all the working shifts. Granted though, he is not a doctor or nurse, but he has more advanced first aid training than you have as the average miner. He will be the one to clean you up a little bit, bandage your wound properly, get your broken leg into a splint. Anything at least to get you stable enough to then be removed from the mine. Now, what we like doing here at this little stop is we do, of course, like putting lights out for a moment to show you what it's like in an active anthracite mine of today, 2019. Cool. We do see every day going underground, but we take a little trip back in time too. We like showing you, of course, what it would have been like for a miner working back in the 19th century. Get an idea of what that would have been like for a miner for a 10 to 12 hour shift.
So we're about to shut these lights off to give you an idea what it really would have looked like working in here. So that's about it.
So here we go, into an active anthracite coal mine of today. This is the level of lighting that we work with. This is it.
Wow.
Now, if I look back down the tunnel, now I can see all the way back down that chute, the chamber we were at moments ago, fairly easily. We have had electric cap lamps of this style in our mines for 50 years now. The early version of this one came out in the 1960s. Now, I want you to imagine a flame roughly twice that size. So it would be a little bit brighter, but it's an open flame now up here. It's on the brim of your cap. This is roughly what you'd be seeing in the 1870s. I can see about 10 feet. It's a greasy orange light. It's all you have for a 10 to 12 hour day. You need to imagine yourself perhaps now 80 feet straight up in a chamber. You're going through the motions of your day. You're not sitting still. You bump your head just right, water gets to your light, you're in the dark in an instant. If your laborer with you isn't close enough to help you get your light going with his own, you could fall from that chamber to your death. Low lighting conditions, dangerous gases, and a general lack of safety by the company owners themselves. These are the things that made these mines such a dangerous place years ago. And again, it'll give you a little idea anyway of what these men would have been dealing with. So, let me get our lights back on.
Amazing.
And we will continue. Well, a lot of guys smoked in the mines years ago. I mean, you'd be able to try, but you're soaking wet a lot of times. Oh, yeah.
Look at these beams.
A lot of areas.
One after another. Hold up all that weight. There we go.
Yes, that's the tunnel that we were where the hospital is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we branch off of that tunnel. This tunnel was only put in for shaft access.
Oh, okay. When I first came down, I thought maybe that was the turnaround where you turn.
Nope, and beyond the mule where we were down there, just like here, it curves back into that main tunnel. Yeah, this is only like an outside loop.
What do they call it? What do you call this?
Man
A
car.
Man car?
Car or
Man trip? We're back in the man trip. Wow, that's loud. Suddenly it goes from 50 degrees to 70 degrees. Just like that. And here is the new tour. All right, thank you. That was amazing, Zach. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
When you come here, there's a museum in here, right? Gift shop, everything in here?
Museum,
Everything's
gift
in
shop,
here. So definitely come in and buy some stuff and help support this place, because this place needs to be around for a while. It has an amazing amount of history. So again, thanks to Zach. When you come here, ask for Zach, because he is the genius when it comes to coal mines, all right?
Be careful with that.
Thanks for watching. Again, that's Journey with Jay. Check him out. Check his YouTube channel out. And that's my friend Noelle, who doesn't have YouTube. She's too cool for YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.
The other type of gas down here, fire damp, is methane.
That comes from the mules?
Oh no. Not being lossless. It's odorless and odorless, but again, lighter than air. So that's gonna be